down and nuke one target, so Viego gets his reset. As the Cho'Gath comes out into the... It is a handshake, as you say, Cho'Gath Sion.
It's such a monster pick here. It is such a monster pick here. When I think of Cho'Gath into Ryze, and Ryze being this kind of machine gun mage, Cho'Gath just yells at you and tells you to...
As Skewmon recognizes that he's still got to kill this dragon, the red buff is respawning, and Yike is definitely pathing towards the top side of the map. So Broken Blade gonna have that awareness and recognize that that top jungle is not safe.
I will say though, the back timer for Kalista and Targamas there wasn't great, because you can see Hansam and Labrov got to crash a pretty sizable wave and now open up a nice CS lead for themselves on that bottom side. So at least for G2, Hansam is starting to open up that lead against the Draven, but again, you kind of need to kill Draven to really put him out of the game. So
Rob,
is it just a cover?
I mean, this looks like a play to me.
But they know that nobody's on mid. Look at the pings from G2.
Oh, good interrupt there. The Unbreakable coming out from Labrov. He is going to die. First blood to Kalist.
Okay to say, hey, look, I'm not going to be down here for this bottom side. Sure, you might give some gold across the Cho'Gath, but a bit of extra gold doesn't mean too much into a tank Cho'Gath. It's more about securing all 6 grubs for yourselves, and now you can also ult into that bottom wave if you need to secure dragons. So they're perfectly fine to match the play on top and still have essentially a smite for this objective.
Yeah, Vladi just TP'd down towards the bot lane Triber to try and get here in time, but as you say, the feast comes out.
Have to play in towards Caps, and his walls thus far have been really good. I mean, you were highlighting it there in that fight, so it's making it very difficult for KC to play out of that position once it happens. And Broken Blade now.
Is it enough?
That is!
Just gobbles him up! Nom 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 nom.
An easy kill for Broken Blades. I mean, he really did make that look so easy. Gentleman Cho'Gath tips his hat. And he's likely going to get a tower here as well. Maybe he's overstayed his welcome on the bot side. But
he's got no mana. It would be difficult for him to fight against Yike. Skewmon is hovering him. Yike is here. Oh, the dodge on the Spectral Maul. Basically blind as Yike comes across and has to Heartbreaker. Skewmon isn't going to chase any further. Didn't have the flash.
Yeah, he'd already used the Audacious Charge as well to try and get in there, so doesn't want to overextend, especially when there are members of KC missing up.
So nothing too crazy, and I think G2's happier about this just because they'll get the top tier 1 as well. Against this Anivia, it's too difficult to siege, especially with Labrov, who was hovering on the bot lane as well. Overall advantage gain, and now they can use this Herald to finish off that tier 1 in the mid lane, already opening up the map for themselves. Another Omnom now, slowly but surely chipping away at the structures. Broken Blade.
Can they kill it? There's the root, gets the silence, isn't getting knocked up with the decimating smash. No one really was able to auto-attack him there, so I'm gonna say we don't know yet if they can kill him.
Results inconclusive on the experiment.
Trying to step forward. Broken Blade acting as that bodyguard. Can't quite land the knockup. Vladdy's coming in from the bottom side. They dive onto Kana and Yike. Broken Blade flashes, and Yike gets gobbled up. The Realm Warp in as well. I don't think Vladdy wanted to take that. That's a one-way ticket to nowhere. Kana, the next target for G2. The encore comes over 3, but Targamas now on the retreat, has to flash the wall, and Skewmon, wind becomes lightning, and Targamas becomes fertilizer. Kalist now with a flash and a barrier. Gets over to the right side of the wall. Caps still looking for more, and there is another. Caps' passive has not even been procced this game. G2 with an ace.
It is the only boss that you need to find a way of shutting down on the Rift right now, because this man is an absolute... I mean, the idea behind Cho'Gath, right, is that his W is very low range. Makes it much easier to land all that other CC.
I will say Caps putting down a massive AoE slow
also helps.
Probably contributes. If you guys think it will be another Drake to them, delayed by 1 if they were looking for a fast soul. They're only on soul point now, as Karmine Corp were able to take the Dragon earlier on, while G2
with how this Ryze can use the ultimate. Kalist now, he doesn't have flash.
Does not have flash, and that's a flash frost to the face. It's or frostbite, I believe, as G2 now pushing through mid.
And like, I think that this is actually something that Jojo Pyun talked about after Caps brought out this Anivia, is that like, this is not a champion you see particularly often, so oftentimes you haven't played against it in competitive, you haven't played against it in scrims, so you're just not really sure what exactly you're supposed to do against a champion like this, and unfortunately KC feel a bit lost.
A major issue as well for KC is as soon as Kalist is dead, where's your consistent DPS on a Cho'Gath? Even with Kalist alive, it's still going to be tricky, but at least he can chuck some axes into that massive gentleman. Right now.
Point in it early, but in the late game, when you put more points into it, the sides of the wall, it can cover so much space. and it can trap people off. Kana, he's trying to escape, but there's the
There's
wall.
the Crystallize. Encore is going to hit onto 3, but they don't really have the follow-up as of yet. Kana's still on that front line, but the dive onto the back. Kaliss locked up, G2 find another. They're going to try and warp out, but the Crystallize into the knock-up.
Triple?
It's a triple for BB. A quadra for BB. Get back here, Yike! Get back here!
He's TPing!
It's a Michelin star meal, Broken Blade. No! No!
You know?
It was raw and wriggling and ready to be eaten up, Broken Blade. But instead, the Nexus G2's target, a spot in the grand finals, G2's target. And Karmine Corp could not stand up to the power of the Gentleman Show. 11-1, 26 minutes in. Karmine Corp locked in their fountain. They're not climbing that blue wall as G2 go to the finals.
Yike refuses to be the prawn for this Shogun, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day. G2 looking